So, okay, let me draw first. Oops. Okay. Sige, that's it. You try to name this organic compound.
Pag ganun na doon po, makanang bugas nga. Lang guys, wag.
Okay. Sige. Let's see. Ano itong mga sinad me here? Okay. Sige, let's check whether your answers here are correct. We have, let's count, starting from here, 1, 2, 3. If we go up, that's 5. But if we go down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have 6 here. But if we go down pa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 7, parehas lang sila. Whether you go right or you go down. So definitely our longest chain here is 7 carbons. So we have here heptane. Please check. Then that's heptane. And then if this will be our longest chain here, I'll consider this one as the longest chain na lang. So parehas lang naman sila kung going to the right ka. Okay, sige. Ayan, so yung mga hindi natin nasali in the parent chain are this one, and then this one, and also the one sa taas. Okay. Let me delete the numbers first para hindi tayo ma-confuse later. Okay, sige. So we will be naming our substituents. We have here a methyl, another methyl here, and then we have here an ethyl. So we will be arranging them alphabetically later. However, let's assign numbers first for our carbons in the parent chain. So if I start here, 1, 2, 3, the first substituent is on carbon number 3. But if I start here at the bottom, 1, 2, so at carbon number 2, I already have a substituent. So definitely this will be my carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is carbon number 5, 6, and this is carbon number 7. Now arrange them alphabetically. So the first that comes in the name is syempre the ethyl, and it is attached at carbon number 5. So this is 5-ethyl. 5-ethyl, then dash, and then we have 2-methyl, so we will be combining them and we will call it dimethyl. Now, saan sila naka-attach? At carbon number 2 and carbon number 3, and then do not forget the dash, and then we will call it dimethyl. So this one is the correct answer. 5-ethyl, 2,3-dimethyl, methyl heptane. Sige, questions about this one? Meron pa ba ditong nalilito? I think almost all of you got the correct answer. May iba lang na medyo baliktad. Baliktad yung pag-assign ng number. Okay, baliktad yung pag-assign ng number. So, dito kayo nag-carbon number 1. So, do not forget ha, those na baliktad yung pag-assign ng number. You have to choose kung saan yung may pinakamaliit na number for the first substituent. Okay? Hindi doon sa kabila. Kasi pag sa kabila ka at carbon number 3 ka pa, magkakaroon ng substituent. Yeah, hindi magbe-base sa prefixes ang alphabetical order. Our alphabetical order will really follow this one, what you call this, the names of the substituent mismo. By the time na mag-a-add tayo ng ating prefix, hindi na natin siya i-consider in the alphabetical order. So, mauuna pa rin si ethyl before the dimethyl. So, again, hindi kasali ang prefixes ha. sa pag-consider sa pag-arrange in alphabetical order sa ating substituent. So I hope that is clear. So sino pa dito yung medyo nahihirapan? What's wrong? Alin dito yung medyo confused kayo sa naming? Maybe on the assigning, no, of the numbers. Pero wag niyo lang kalimutan yung sinabi ko. Hanapin niyo yung pinaka-konti. I mean, pinakamaliit na number na merong first na substituent. Now, actually, nilakbangan ko ito yesterday. Where was that again? This one. Aside from having methyl, ethyl, propyl, and so on, na mga substituents class, you may find the following substituents. These are also common na mga substituents in our organic compounds. We have here the isopropyl. Okay, this one is the isopropyl. Take note of this. If you see a substituent that looks like this, ito yung part class na naka-combine doon or naka-directly attached ha sa parent chain. Dito siya naka-attached ang parent chain. At the center, we have 3 carbons and then the connection to the parent chain is on the second carbon or the carbon at the center. We call this the isopropyl. Okay, propyl kasi 3 carbon, pero hindi sa dulo ang kanyang connection sa parent chain. Kasi pag sinabi mo kasing propyl class, ganito yun siya, CH2, CH2, CH3. So the connection on the parent chain is here at the terminal or at the end. Pero eto, titingnan nyo yung kaibahan, the connection on the parent chain is on the carbon at the center. So again, we call this the isopropyl. So iso means class the same. So kasi pag isusulat natin siya, you have CH3 here, CH at the center, and CH3. Dito yung connection sa parent chain. Kung hahatiin natin, parehas yung right side and left side niya. So iso and then propyl. Okay? So yan yung difference nila ha, ni propyl and ni isopropyl as a substituent. Now the remaining are 4 carbon substituents. 4 carbon, so lahat sila butyl. But where is the difference? It's on the attachment on the parent chain. We call it sec-butyl if we have 4 carbons, but the connection on the parent chain takes place on the second carbon. Take note, this one here is the second carbon. You start counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second carbon yan siya. And at the same time, aside from being a second carbon, this is a secondary carbon. But what do you mean by secondary carbon? It's a carbon wherein you have 2 carbons attached directly. Not hindi natin muna i-count yung attachment niya doon sa parent chain. Sa original niya lang na chemical formula. So we have 1, 2. So this is again a secondary carbon and it's the second carbon for the butyl. So dito natin i-attach si parent chain. However, we will call it a third butyl na substituent if ang attachment natin, 4 pa rin yan ha, 1, 2, 3, 4. The attachment is on the center. This is the parent chain here. And in this center, meron tayong 3 carbon pa na naka-attach. So this is actually called a tertiary carbon. Kaya tinawag siya na third butyl. Okay, I hope you have seen the difference between the sec-butyl and the third butyl and also the isobutyl. So just like the isopropyl class na paghahatiin mo kasi yung compound iso magkaparehas sila. So this one here, iso is not the connection on the parent chain ha, kasi the connection in the parent chain is here. Pero what makes it iso? Kasi itong CH3 nasa gitna siya. 1, 2, 3, you have 3 carbons. But the 4th carbon is at the center. So huwag kayong malito ha, this is secondary carbon. Kung saan naka-attach ang parent chain, andoon yung fourth carbon. Pero ito, isobutyl, meron ka pa ring apat na carbon pero yung isa naka-attached at the center kung itatabi natin yung tatlo. So get to know, be familiar with the different na common branched substituents, and then we will use them. I-try natin, bibigyan ko kayo ng organic compound and then you will name them. And then be careful sa substituents na ito kasi medyo confusing sila. Okay lang si isopropyl kasi isa lang siya. Tatlong carbons and then the other carbon is at the center. Pero yung mga butyl natin, meron tayong tatlong klaseng butyl. So let us have, again, an example for this. I need a larger space. Let me clear the drawings on the screen. And then let's have an example. Okay, this one. Please try to name this, and then you have a copy of my slide. Go back to the list of the common substituents and let's see if ma-detect nyo siya in the compound on the screen. And then try to name them. Again, in naming, we don't include in the arrangement the prefixes. So even the third iso and the, what I call the other one, the sec, we don't include that one sa alphabetical arrangement. So you go back with the methyl, butyl, ethyl, and so on. Sige, kayo muna and then later. Check natin. By the way, the third, the sec, and the prefixes, yung mga di, tri, yun yung hindi kasali sa ano ha, alphabetical order. I think I included iso kanina, but iso class is included sa alphabetical order. So kasali siya doon sa mga propyl, butyl, isalin niyo siya sa pag arrange ng inyong substituent. Okay? Si iso lang yung kasama dyan na prefix. Sige. Let me see. Your answers. Sige. Sige, the first thing that we need to do is to look at the parent chain. So if I'm looking for the parent chain, I may start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 8 here. Okay, so most likely our parent chain is 8 carbon. So we have here an octane. And then when I talk about the parent chain, I consider this one as my parent chain. This one. So what is not included in my counting, or what are not included, is this one here, and then another one here, and then the whole thing here. I did not include this in my counting. Okay, so let's name them. Syempre, this one is a methyl, and then this one is also a methyl. And this one class is called an isopropyl. Take note, bakit siya isopropyl? We have 3 carbons, and then the attachment on the parent chain takes place at the center. Okay? Nangyari siya at the center. So, ito na lahat yung ating mga substituents. Let us assign the numbers now. If I start here, I'll have 1, 2, 3. I'll have the substituent on carbon number 3. If I start here 1, 2, 3, pareho lang. Pareho lang. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's on carbon number 6. Kung ipatuloy ko ito, 4, 4, 5, 6. So parehas lang talaga sila. Now, ano yung gagawin natin kapag kahit saan tayo mag-start class, pareha lang talaga yung numbers ng kanilang substituent. Ang gagawin mo, you choose class the carbon number 1, kung sino yung mauuna sa naming, like sa alphabetical naming, yun yung magiging carbon number 1 mo. Let me explain that one again. Pareha sila, diba, kahit saan ka mag-start. Carbon number 1 ka dito, you will have the first substituent on carbon number 3, the second substituent at carbon number 6. Pero pag nagka-carbon 1 ka dito on the left side, ganun pa rin. The first substituent is carbon number 3, the second one is on carbon number 6. So malilito ka ngayon saan ka magka-carbon number 1. So the next class na i-set natin dito na rule is mag-carbon number 1 ka doon sa substituent na mauuna in the naming. Meaning the basis will be the alphabetical order. So I told you a while ago that prefixes like di, tri, the sec, and the tert are not included in the alphabetical arrangement, but the iso is included. So among the three, we have isopropyl and the methyl. Isopropyl will be the first one in the naming. Thus, since siya yung mauuna in the naming, you will choose this as your carbon number 1. Yan yung sinasabi ko na kapag ka magkapareho, lahat-lahat ng substituent, doon ka magka-carbon number 1 sa pinakaunang substituent na isusulat natin sa naming. Hindi tayo magka-carbon 1 dito kasi methyl will be last in the naming. Okay, so I hope naintindihan yon. So we have here isopropyl that is found on carbon number 3. So we will call this 3-isopropyl. Again, 3-isopropyl, and then dash, we have 2-methyl here. So we have also on carbon number 3 and carbon number 6. Let me delete the octane first. And then we will call it dimethyl kasi dalawa sila. And then idudugtong natin si octane. So this is now our name for this compound. 3-isopropyl, 3,6-dimethyl octane. So sino yung nakatama dito? Again, 3-isopropyl yan siya ha. Right. This is octane. Ay, nasobra ako ang backread. Three, 6. Okay, nabaliktad lang na siya, Ira. But that was the time na I told you na hindi kasali si ISO. But let me correct that. Kasali si ISO. Siya lang yung prefix na isasali natin in the alphabetical order. 3-isopropyl. This should be 3. Yeah, tama si Claudine. 3-isopropyl, 3,6-dimethyl octane. Okay, tama na yung inyong answer. So, yun yung gamit ha ng mga ma'am, di mauna ang methyl kay propyl. Mauuna dapat si methyl kay propyl, pero just what I have said, isasali natin si iso in the consideration sa alphabetical order. So this is the only prefix na i-consider natin in the alphabetical order. The rest, di, tri, and whatever, the sec, the tert, hindi natin yon i-consider. Iso lang talaga. So this is I, and this is methyl. So this is M. Mauuna talaga si isopropyl. So I hope na na-answer ko yung question. Ayan. Okay. Anything else? Do you have questions or clarification? Another example. Sige. Let me paint first. Libog pa kung may mga isopropyl. Wait lang ha, let me paint. Wait lang. Pinagpunahuna. Okay. Let us see. Oh, wait. Sige. Sige. You start naming this. I'm checking actually if tama ako mga hydrogen nga gimutang. Okay. Sige, go. Hindi pa mag-sink in dun sa name nila. Amana siya na i-familiar sa ninyo. I-familiar sa ninyo ang ano ha, ilahang noun and ang ilahang name. Mura siya 3. Mawag na siya ang ano, organic compound. Isuda. Sige, I'll give you more time kay maghuna-huna pa man mo. Mag-work out ang inyong ano, brain cells. May exercise ta karon.
Excuse me, ma'am, 'di ba? Kung ganina sa example kay, 'di ba same sila number 3 na sa parent chain. Dito lang siya i-consider na unahon ang isopropyl kaysa sa methyl or ethyl.
Yeah, kapag same sila, bisag mag-start ka sa right, mag-start ka sa left, parehas lang ang ilahang position sa substituent. So, ano na ka, dito na imuhang i-consider sa alphabetical order. Dito lang
Okay,
to
ma'am.
siya kagaina. Pero if in this example, hindi naman magkapareho yung kanilang position, mag-start ka sa right, anong carbon ka magkakaroon ng substituent, or that's left side. Kung magsa-start ka sa right, anong carbon din. So balikan niyo yung original natin na guideline. Yung kanina lang, magkaiba kasi yun kasi parehas talaga, kahit saan mo titingnan, parehas yung position ng substituent.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Wala kasali si sec, si tert, ha, sa alphabetical naming, si iso lang. Okay. Sige. Mana? Una pa yung maghabol, ani. This is recorded, ha? So the chats are also recorded. Ay, wait lang. Sige, wait. Times. 11:21. This is the time. really sleepy. Nagdugo ng ilong aning uban. Dili sure. Okay, sure na to na later. Wait lang.
Ay, ma'am.
Yes.
Ay, sa profile ba dyan po ng same lang ganiha, ma'am?
Kasi say man ganun ha. Ano ta?
Ay, sa profile dyan po ning murag ka ng gatikwi, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ay, sige, ma'am. Thank
We
you
still
po.
call that isopropyl. We have 3 carbons. And then take note, when you say isopropyl, you have 3 carbons. And that the connection in the parent chain is in the center. So, di ba tulo ka carbon ang nasa tunga? Kung mauna ang nakakonect sa parent chain, isopropyl ang tawag, ana. Ha? Confused na kaayo. Okay lang. Let's be patient with the organic chemistry. This is just alkane, ha? We are not yet this is just the first functional group. So let's take time. Pag makuha ninyo ng alkane, most likely makuha na po ninyo ang uban na functional groups. Now, let's take time for the alkane.
Mama kabother mong katawa.
Mali. Mali nga magugusin yung chat ko. Sumuka. Wait. Sige, let's start. Let's count first the parent chain, ha? Wait, let me change the color of my pen. For the parent chain, let's try to have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 carbons if we go straight. If we go down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is just 7 here. Pag magbaba tayo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is also 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is also 8 here. What else? Mapa ba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it doesn't matter. It's still 8. Whether we'll start here and then going here sa baba, 8 pa rin yan siya. So syempre 8 din sa kabila. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. So definitely, our parent chain, you take time ha sa pagdetermine ng inyong parent chain. Pag may lumampas dyan, more than, example 7 yung pinakamalaki mo, tapos naghanap ka pa, try mo lahat ng possible as long as hindi napuputol ha, as in diretso-diretso yung counting mo. That may be your parent chain. So in this case, ang pinakamataas na number of carbons na hindi mapuputol is 8. So we will call this one as an octane. So sa lahat ng 8 carbons na na-count ko, yung pinakamadali is this one. So I'll consider this as the parent chain. Okay? Kasi kanina pwede kang lumiko here. 8 chains pa rin yun. Pero magkaparehas lang naman yung counting na yan. Doon na ako sa mas madali ko ma-identify yung ating mga substituent. So this is a substituent here. This one also. This one. And then this one. So meron tayong 4 na substituent. And then let's name them before assigning numbers. So sa naming, syempre this one is called a methyl kasi isang carbon lang siya. Now how about this? 1, 2, 3. Tatlong carbons. The connection is on the terminal. So we will just call this, tatlong carbon is called pro, pero since kulang ng isang hydrogen dyan, hindi mo siya tatawagin na propane ha. Wala tayong substituent class na mag-e-end sa propane. I mean sa ane. The ane is just used for the parent chain. The rest, pag substituent, alkyl talaga yan. So we call this a propyl. Not an isopropyl ha, kasi remember the isopropyl is this one. 3 carbons and then the connection is at the center. Anong kaibahan nila ni propyl? The connection here is on the terminal, sa end. Ito nasa gitna. And then this one is 2 carbons, so we will call this as an ethyl. Okay, now let's assign numbers. If I assign carbon number 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, my first substituent is on carbon number 4. But if I start here 1, 2, at carbon number 2, I already have a substituent. So definitely I'll choose to have this carbon number 1 on the right side. 6, 7, and then 8. Okay, so I have assigned numbers now, and what do I need to do next? I'll arrange them alphabetically. So, syempre, sinong mauuna? Si ethyl. So, among them, si ethyl yung mauuna. And ethyl is connected at carbon number 4. So, this is 4-ethyl. And then, sino yung isusunod natin? Sabi ko, kasali si iso in the prefixes. So, among them, sa tatlo na naiwan, syempre si isopropyl sunod. So this is 5-isopropyl. And then, between propyl and methyl, syempre sino? So si methyl ang mauuna. So this is 2-methyl. And then lastly, we have, saan nakakonect si propyl? It's carbon number 5. So 5-propyl octane. So mahaba masyado ang pangalan ng ating organic compound. 4-ethyl, 5-isopropyl, 2-methyl, 5-propyl octane. This is the correct answer. Let's check your answers sa chat. Ayaw kayo yung answer. Naman na natin yung answer. There. Those na nag-start ng 4-ethyl. Let's see. Confused na ako ba? Nakakasabot sa yung gisulat. Why? So, da mag-backread. Asa na ganina nag-start dire. 4-ethyl, 5-isopropyl, 2-methyl. Oh yeah, tama si Judel. Tama si Judel. 2-methyl. Si Ira also, tama. 4-ethyl, 5-isopropyl. Yal. Daddy also, tama. And Angeli? Baliktad. Ay, tama pala. Tama. Pag mo lang lagyan ng dash between propyl and heptane, ano dapat na sila? Dugtong. Baliktad ang kay Cristel. Ang baliktad is the 5-propyl and the 2-methyl. Mauna si M, di ba? MNOP. Balik na sa atong alphabet. 4-ethyl, 5. Oh, bakit ba yung sec-butyl? Wala tayong makikita na sec-butyl dito ha. Let us try the sec-butyl and the tert-butyl later. If you can recognize them in the structure. I'll draw later. Kasi iso and the propyl pa lang yung sinasama ko. So far. Okay, sige. So the rest, hanapin nyo kung saan kayo nagkamali sa pag-name. Tapos after that, babalik ta rin natin. What do I mean by babalik ta rin natin? I'll give you the name. You give me the structure. No, you cannot. You just draw the structure in your paper and then let's see kung makukuha niyo ba. Sayang ko lang ang propyl. makalibog po sa right jud magsugod. No, depende sa substituent. Sa right ta nagsugod dinhi kay ngano man magbisaya ko ha. Kay ngano tell me kung naay di makasabot og Bisaya. Ngano ta nag-start sa right? Kasi pag dirita sa right mag-start, ang atong first substituent naa sa carbon number 2. And then that is the rule, di ba? Mag-start kag carbon number 1 sa dito sa side kung asa ang lowest na number for the substituent. So carbon number 2 man gud na siya. Pero kung baliktaron nato, this is kung dirita mag-start sa left, mag-carbon number 1 ta dinhi. Okay, diri atong carbon number 1. Remember na the substituent will be on carbon number 4 pa. So dili pwede, dapat dito gyud ta sa lowest, diri ta sa 2. Maman siya ang kaniman ang side kung asa nato makita ang pinakauna na substituent. So dili jud na siya pirmi nga sa right ha. Ang uban sa left depende lang gyud kung asa nakabutang ang atuang substituent. Okay? Anything else? Kulang og dash, ay mong kalimot sa dash ha. And wala na siya space in between. Diretso-diretso yun na siya number sa carbon kung asa naka-attach, and then dash, and then another, and then the name. And then dash na naman if meron ka pang another substituent. Okay? Pero yung last substituent class, idudugtong mo na yung name niya doon sa parent chain. And then ang parent chain, yun na yung magbe-bear ng suffix na ane, ha, yung ane. Doon lang talaga siya sa parent chain. Lahat ng substituents will be alkyl group, so mag-e-end yung name nila sa -il. Wala siya prefix. That time, wala tayong prefix except for the iso. Kasi pare-parehas naman sila, 'di ba? I mean, iba-iba naman sila. Meron tayong ethyl, methyl, meron tayong propyl, and then we have the isopropyl. Now, iba-iba sila, so we don't need the prefixes na di, tri, tetra, and so on. Kailan natin ito gagamitin? Kapag meron tayong nag-exist na substituent in one compound na magkapareho. So like kung meron kang makita na dalawang methyl, so pag iisahin natin sila, we will call them dimethyl. We just have to identify anong carbon sila nakadikit sa parent chain. And then the numbers will be separated by a comma. Okay? Sige, let's have another example. This time, mag-iisip ako ng ibang substituent. Again, mag-iisip ako ng ibang substituent. We have, by the way, we can also have substituent na other compounds ha. I mean other atoms. Though hindi na talaga siya matatawag na purely hydrocarbon, we can call it haloalkane kapag meron tayong makikita na halogens in the structure. So ano nga yung halogens natin? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Pag nakita niyo ito sa structure, alkane pa rin, pero specifically tinatawag siyang haloalkane because of the presence of the following. And in the naming, parehas lang naman yung naming, magna-number pa rin tayo ng carbons, pero hindi natin sila tatawagin with their full name. So pag isusulat natin sila, ano lang sila, fluoro. So example, if fluorine is found on carbon number 1, then that is called 1-fluoro. Ayan, and then this is called chloro, bromo, and this one is called iodo. So yan yung magiging names ng mga halogens if they are used as substituents for our alkane. Okay, additional lang yan siya. So let me right now the next example. Okay, maghuna-huna. Maghuna-huna tayo. Let's include the halogen para isahin na natin. This one muna. Nakitlan pala. Okay. This one muna. Okay, you try? It's frustrating.
Ma'am, sa haloalkanes good,
Mm-mm.
unahon og butang ang number sa kung asa ang halogen or sa last or idikit siya dito sa name sa parent chain.
Dili. Parehas siya o guideline sa uban na klase na substituent. Appeal siya sa alphabetical order ug appeal pud siya sa number what do you call that, identification sa number of carbons, kung number of carbon kung asa siya nakadikit sa parent chain. So like
Thank you, ma'am.
kung sa carbon number 3, so 3 chloro, pero again i-appeal siya sa alphabetical order. Let me just reply kay Ma'am Duquesa. Anyway, wala pa naman nag-send yung iba. So let's wait. Minsan naman yung pambilang. Oh. Okay, sige, sige. Kalimutan ko yung YouTube. Sige, 2 minutes more. Okay.
Wala ko pa.
Mama.
Wala ko yan.
Wala naman akong plastic.
Huh?
Wala naman akong plastic. Let's do it. It's na. I thought I made a third butyl pero checking the structure, it will not be a third butyl pala. Pero hindi ko siya nakita pumasok. Na-disconnect. So na, taka lang. Chloro is a halogen. It's a haloalkane. So it can also be considered a substituent. Sa main chain. Sa main chain na siya. Sa parent chain na siya naka-attach si chloro. It's not included in the counting, ha? The halogens are not included in the counting sa parent chain. So So it will always be a substituent or a branch. Yung mga halogens natin, like chloro, bromo, iodo, and fluoro. So sige, let us count. Again, I thought I made a third butyl, but checking the structure, it cannot be a third butyl pala. Kasi pag magka-count tayo ng parent chain, if I start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is just 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I go down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 here. But if I start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This becomes 7. So I have here the longest chain. If I start counting here, let me identify what's the 7, huh? This one. And then like if we really go down, this becomes 7. So this is the longest chain here. So let me delete the others. 7 yung longest chain natin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so this will become a heptane for the parent chain. And then the rest that is not included in the counting will become the substituent. So what are those? We have here a CH3, another CH3 here, another CH3, and then we have a Cl and a CH3 here. So we have a total of 5 substituents. Okay? Now we will name them. Syempre, the 4 ones, lahat sila methyl. Okay? Lahat sila methyl class. And then we only have chloro here. Again, we name this as chloro, ha? Chloro. Now, let's see where should we start counting. If I start carbon number 1 here, 1, 2, 3. On carbon number 3, I have the first substituent. But if I start numbering here, 1, 2, at carbon number 2, I already have the substituent. So definitely, I'll start counting here at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, and 7. So again, the parent chain is not necessarily a straight chain. Bisan pag magliko-liko ka din ha, as long as hindi siya napuputol and it has the largest number of carbon, yun yung magiging parent chain. So just like this one, I started at the bottom going up. Now, after assigning the numbers, then let us arrange alphabetically our substituents. Syempre, between chloro and methyl, mauuna talaga si chloro. And saan nakadikit si chloro? It's carbon number 3. So we will name this as 3-chloro. And then for the methyl, since apat yan sila class, ano nga yung ating prefix for apat? We have the tetra. So we will call this tetramethyl. Pero we have to identify on what carbon sila sa parent chain nakadikit. So we have here a methyl on carbon number 2 and another methyl on the left side. So this is still carbon number 2. And then kung apat yan sila, apat din na number ang ilalagay ha. And then we also have carbon number 3 and lastly on carbon number 5. Let me adjust the name. So this is called tetramethyl. And then the parent chain is heptane. So this is the correct answer. 3-chloro, 2,2,3,5 tetramethyl heptane. Okay? Sige. So, sino yung nakakuha? Then I'll be giving you an assignment kasi magpa-practice pa kayo. Kasi meron pang yung iba na nako-confuse pa until now sa naming. So mag-practice sa sunod na lang ta. Next week na lang ta himo og structure. Baliktaron nato. I'll be giving you the name. You have to draw the structure. So yan yung magiging next natin na lesson. Naming muna. 3-chloro, 2,2,3,5, Tetramethylheptane. Yeah, that is correct. Yung iba, medyo nalito in the substituent. Merong hexane ang answer. Take note, hanapin mo talaga class yung yung parent chain. Pag mali na yung parent chain mo, mali na yung mga substituents mo. Kasi parent chain talaga, lahat ng hindi nasali sa parent chain, that's the time you consider them as substituent. Okay, baliktad lang ang kay baliktad mo ha, Cristel. Pauna si chloro kaysa kay methyl. Okay? Pauna si chloro kaysa kay methyl. Kasi alphabetical order tayo. The rest, numbers yung mali, no? 3, chloro, 2, 2, 3, 5. Okay. Okay, I hope nakuha ninyo. Hindi siya sa main chain talaga si chloro ha. Pero kung siya yung last na isusulat nyo, so syempre, siya yung nakadikit dito sa parent chain. Pero this time, since alphabetically mauuna talaga ang C sa M, so dito siya. Hindi mo siya ididikit doon sa parent chain. Bakit yung iba merong third butyl? Chloro are halogens ha. They are halogens and they can be considered as substituents also. Tama ba, Naira? Tetramethylheptane. Tama sana yon, tetramethylheptane, pero kulang. Do not forget the chloro and the numbers of the carbon where these substituents are being attached. Do not use the word chlorine if the halogens are used as substituents in the organic compounds. Do not name them in their full name. So chlorine will become just chloro, bromine, bromo, fluorine, fluoro, and iodine as iodo. Yun yung gagamitan nila na name. Okay, so it's almost time. It's 11:54. So what are we going to do? We will just have an assignment para mag-practice mo. Okay, mag-practice mo sa naming. And then next week we will answer the assignment. Sa Friday, natingali ko mag-quiz next week, class. Okay, so naming lang ito ha. Wait lang, let me write. Make sure na tama inyong masulat na structure kay basig mamali mo sa inyong naming. Yeah, 110 tayo. sigma mix. Mhm. Ay. Ano si H3? Tatlo lang. Yung maghuna-huna mo. Brain exercise, tatlo po po. Tama ba akong mga hydrogen? Kung na ako'y nakaligtaan na hydrogen, diha paki-correct ha. Pakibilang lang, dapat 4 lang na isulatanan. All in all. Including the bonds to including the bond to another carbon. Okay. That's it. Any paper lang yan. And then ipasa lang natin.
Kailan po ipasa, ma'am?
Friday ka no? Wednesday next week. Para na pa may time mangita o parent chain. Daghan nga tayo mangita o parent chain. Naghuna-huna pa ako kano sa akong mag-quiz. I don't like to give quiz na wala pa ninyo siya fully na-grasp. Ano sa ako maghatag o quiz man? You just wait for my announcement na lang. But please prepare. Okay na? Kahit 12 o'clock na. Yeah, kung na-ay third butyl ang i-consider sa alphabetical order. Ang third ug ang sec, wala na sila gina-appeal. Parehas na sila sa di, tri, tetra. Di sila kasali in the alphabetical order. Okay? Ang sinasali lang natin si iso. Alright? So it's already 12:01. Human mo kape? Wala. Naman. Okay. Actually,
ma'am.
nag-screenshot.
ma'am.
Sige, i-post lang gihapon nako para ma-check ninyo whether tama inyong na-copy or wala. But anyway, Wednesday pa ang deadline niya.